Celtics Talk Podcast is presented by 24AutoGroup.com. New England gets more at 24.
What's up, everybody?
What's up? What is happening, Chris?
We got the cream team here.
We got the cream team.
If you're not watching on the YouTube version, me and Kayla showed up wearing matching cream. Tan. Is that cream?
No,
All right, good.
Tan cream.
I feel better now. The best was yesterday. I was doing the intro, and I was like, "What's up, Giles?" And Giles started answering, and I just was like, "Let's talk about Hugo."
Yeah.
So,
See, I feel like Giles should know better.
No, and then I felt bad. I felt like I legitimately felt bad in the aftermath. I'm like, man, I just like
you've done it to me too, and that's how I know. I'm like, what's up? But I'm like, sometimes what's up? And sometimes you'll let it breathe, and then I'm like, you take it right back. You're like, no, I got to talk about him. Chris, this is dedicated to your night. You've been waiting for this.
It's not gonna be my headline, so I'm gonna get it out of the way early.
Okay.
But on the heels of of your Boston Celtics defeating the Toronto Raptors 112-96, Scal called it maybe the best win of the season, which I thought was interesting. I'm not sure I'd put it ahead of like the Pistons game, considering the stakes there with the NBA Cup and the streak and all that. But I get his point, right? Like no JB, you kind of got to find a way. And the Celtics get a masterful performance from Payton Pritchard. They get contributions all across the board. But let's not dance around it, Kayla. Hugo Gonzalez continues to be a revelation. We'll get into it a little bit later about Jordan Walsh and his limited role in this game. But I do not think like some people are like, okay, you're already going a little too far with it. Okay, no, that's a lie. No one has said that. But I just assume that there are people out there who are like, well, you can't start every podcast gushing about Hugo.
You can on this one.
But, I spent like 3 weeks starting with Jordan Walsh, and it felt like appropriate. And it likewise feels appropriate now. Like to me, you can just go by the sheer plus minus. Like Hugo is making good things happen when he's out there. Now he's not the only one, and like we'll spend a bunch of time here on Luka Garza and Baylor Scheierman. The whole bench really gave you a boost on a night where you don't have Jaylen. You would think that the bench contributions would be diminished because someone has to go up to the starting lineup. But I'm just telling you, from that dunk he threw down in the fourth quarter, where I just ran circles around the newsroom screaming, ah!
Yeah, you usually aren't that loud. You're very studious in the corner, and that one, I heard you, I think.
I think I'm going to go on Amazon, because I don't know where else I would get it, and find like a Spanish flag, and a flag of Spain.
Real Madrid?
And just bring it in, and just like, whenever Hugo does something awesome in a game, I'll just like run around the studio with the flag of Spain, waving it back and forth.
First of all, he'd love that.
Yeah, I hope so.
And honestly, if there's anyone who deserves to wave the flag, it is you, because you have since the moment that he was drafted.
I'm not the only one. There's been plenty.
You've been consistent. I would call you out. I feel like you call me out, I call you out. You have been with this guy. I feel like you saw what maybe Brad. This is going to be a little dramatic.
Here we go. I'm going to allow you.
I will give you your flowers. I feel like you have sensed and scouted the same type of Hugo that Brad has sensed and scouted back when he was only averaging 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Which is, how do you scout a guy?
That is fascinating. And I think that's something I'd be curious to ask Brad and some of the guys behind the scenes. That what was it necessarily that just leaped off the page? It's one thing to be thrown in there against NBA. I think they knew he'd been a pro for so long, and that he had played against NBA caliber players, so he had some sense of what he could be. It's a whole nother to be, okay, we haven't seen it, but we think his offense is going to translate, and that'll grow. But like defensively, he will just be kind of like ready out of the chute. And maybe they didn't know that. Maybe they just thought he was more of a project. But clearly, he has kind of started to kick down that door a little bit. And hey, credit to Hugo for at 19 being out there putting up crazy plus minus numbers, winning Tommy Awards back-to-back nights on this back-to-back. The energy is amazing, but like it's just the instincts, jumping passing lanes, fighting through screens, deflecting passes. Like he's just everywhere, including in my dreams.
First of all, if you're listening out at the bars or whatever time you're listening, shot for every time that Chris is talking mentions Hugo. Shot for every time, or don't do that because I don't.
At the bar?
You never know. There's some dedicated.
That would be amazing.
Fans.
If you, I'll tell you what.
If you do mess, yeah.
One, if you were listening at a bar,
Comment
let me
below.
know. Two, I will come hang out with you at the bar.
Podcast at the bar.
I'm like, look, I am not opposed to that. I love this room.
And they can take a shot for us.
Kayla, this is convenient. But if we can get a bar set up, we're there in a heartbeat.
If you're listening to this at the bar, wherever you're, like, honestly, major respect.
If you're in a car, do not.
Please don't. And if you do take shots when he says Hugo, Uber home. You know the drill. I will say, he's in my dreams. I will say, it is jarring. It is baffling to me that, like, not that Brad Stevens can handpick these different guys, and because he's a brainiac and Brad is so talented at what he does. But really, like, to go averaging only 3 minutes a game against pros, that's the argument saying, hey, like, he can handle this type of, game, experience, manhood, if you will. Yeah. But it is different when you are not playing pro and coming over to the NBA. Like, Nimi went over to, Portugal and go play pro, and he came out a different beast, and now he's being more consistent back here in this extra year for him with the Celtics. But I just thought, wow, what a risk. When we first heard about him and
I think that was
we were
natural,
like,
right? Like,
is literally, I think everyone.
You couldn't even find like great highlights, right? Like, because you're like, there's such a limited sample of what he was, and I'm with you. It did feel like, what was it about him that jumped out? And
but it's this. But I'm just, you're right. I want you or someone to ask Brad Stevens or
We'll find out.
Who scouted?
He'll give all the credit to probably their overseas scouts or whatever. But
God,
this is a community it takes to identify the right players.
So scout? No, was it Eddie? Eddie asked you a good question. Where's Hugo on your favorite child like Time Lord list?
So I
don't know, Chris. He may be getting closer on this.
I think the most diplomatic way to say this is always that no one will ever replace Rob. I will continue to come on here and make crazy trades and yearn for Rob to be back. And when he's a free agent next season and signs at crazy low money,
would you trade Hugo?
Oh my God! What are you trying to do? Like,
would you trade a kid for a kid?
Yeah, right. Like, I will not trade my children. I want both of them together, living harmoniously.
Great answer, Dad.
Inside TD Garden, and like again, no one will replace Rob. But I've needed somebody to sort of fill that void of just enjoying on a night-to-night basis how they just approach the game and how they play with energy. And guys have come close. I loved watching Kristaps. I loved the joy he permeated. It's a different sort of joy with, like, Hugo doesn't smile a lot, although after that dunk, he was hyped.
Yeah.
That fourth quarter dunk, he went to the bench. He was glowing. Yeah. And, like,
and his eyebrow, he's got thick eyebrows. I mean, so a lot of
crazy.
facial expressions. His eyebrows are. I get mine done all the time, and they'll never look good as Hugo Gonzalez's.
I think I'm just jealous.
I am too.
The entire Celtics bench their eyebrows are just out of control.
I know.
So
he had great eyebrows.
I just love watching him play because I think he does so many like underrated things in terms of how he plays. And again, fighting through screens, just trying to like defend. It's almost like he almost puts himself in bad positions sometimes because he's so eager to help on defense. And I'm like screaming at the TV, but then he hustles back and gets in front of a guy, or he gets to the corner and blocks a 3-point. So all right, that's enough of me gushing about Hugo. We have to talk about this game. Payton Pritchard was amazing, but your headline kind of threw me for a loop.
Mine threw me for a loop because it wasn't my headline. I just really thought what Eddie House said in post game stuck. And we've been talking about, and honestly, where my brain was at going into this game, and really for the past couple of games, is why is Derrick White so underrated? Mm-hmm. And so my headline is D. White officially rated. Commentary, Eddie House. And that's the worst headline I've ever created in my entire life. It will not make the Boston Globe or beyond it. But regardless, you get my point. And it's still a weird phrase to say.
It's rated. So weird that like, I mean, the Spoelstra had an amazing quote the other night about the fact of how he is underrated, around the league.
I think he's the most underrated player in the league. The guy's an absolute winner, whatever role you put him in. Tonight, obviously, he showed that, he could be a scorer in all the different facets, from three, pick and roll mistakes, taking one-on-one opportunities against, a perceived mismatch. But defensively, he just does so many things. I mean, there were a lot of opportunities we had in the paint. He stripped down. I think, he's the best shot blocking guard in the league. If you have all your talent out there like we had in USA basketball, he can just fit in, and find a way to make winning plays. And he certainly did that tonight.
I think it's weird for us to hear it here because I think we have such an appreciation for Derrick.
We do.
And we understand how vital he is. I think it's refreshing because Spoelstra it isn't just that Derrick White has tormented the Heat throughout the years, and Game 6 of the 23 playoffs and, the other night with how good he was in the fourth quarter. But it's Spoelstra was one of the assistant coaches on Team USA. And he got to see up close, amongst the best players in the world, how Derrick White can influence winning and winning a gold medal. And that's super cool. And it's good that an elite coach, think about all the players Spoelstra has coached, most notably LeBron and those championship teams, but just being around all that Heat culture and everything. And as much as I love to rag on the Heat and all their misses and how they just keep coming up a little bit short of ever since the LeBron days. I think I have a great appreciation for Erik Spoelstra and what a great basketball mind he is. And clearly he proved it by knowing that Derrick White is truly rated.
Yeah, and he got the firsthand experience with D. White, in USA Olympics and that little run that they had, of course, to gold. But I also think, when Eddie was right, Derrick White does not have the demeanor that is super loud, super, hey, I'm in your face, I'm him kind of personality, maybe like an Anthony Edwards,
very, very opposite ends of the spectrum between Derrick White and Anthony Edwards.
And honestly, it makes D. White by him having that little smile when he has a good night, or just quiet demeanor about him. But he's subtle. He's very subtle. He does the pocket stuff. He has the little swaggy hints, and that's his flavor. That's his style. We know it as a Boston culture. We know it as a fan base. We know it as a broadcast team. But I think when the outside world looks at Derrick White, I feel like the conversations, and maybe I'm generalizing, but I feel like the conversations are, they got Jason Tatum, they got Jaylen Brown, Derrick White's a good addition. And I think he deserves a little bit more credit than just he's there too. Because right now, he's more than just there. When Derrick White is not playing at a high caliber, this team is not good
100%.
Or as good. And he's kind of the barometer.
We always say, he's the bellwether, right? If Derrick White has a good night, or even a good quarter, especially a good fourth quarter, the Celtics are going to win. And so I'm going to look it up right now. What do you think Derrick White is ranked on the Ringer 100? Now, they have a lot of my favorite basketball people.
Honestly,
they're smart basketball people.
64 or something?
Ooh, okay. Let's see. I'm still scrolling. I'm into the 40s. Oh, there he is. Derrick White right now is ranked 45th.
Okay.
So essentially that is saying that he is the, second best player on a very good team, because you'd take your top 30, fill one per team. He's, 15, the second round selection. In
I bet there are 7 ahead of him that I'm totally
that you would
with.
that you would be upset about.
Yeah.
Darius Garland is ahead of him. Having watched Darius Garland defend, I would say I'm not on board with that. Jalen Duren, OG Anunoby, Jaren Jackson Jr., former Defensive Player of the Year, Denny Avdia. I don't know if I'm ready to go there. Yeah. Trae Young is ahead of him. Domantas Sabonis. It's hard when you start talking about different positions and stuff like that. Franz Wagner is having a great season. De'Aaron Fox, Aaron Gordon, Amen Thompson, Julius Randle.
All right, it's not horrible names.
Austin Reeves.
They're comparable names.
Here's one that might make you quibble. 31, Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes is 31. He has been playing very well lately.
So I think they're about to do a new top 100, and we'll be interested to see how they shuffle. A lot of these are always based on potential, and everyone keeps waiting for Scotty Barnes to fully tap in to that potential. I think we know if you had to pick who's more impactful for their team, Derrick White overall, based on what he does offensively and defensively, deserves to be a little bit higher. And again, we're biased. We see it every night, but maybe we just understand it better. And that's not to rag on the Ringer list. It's more just as you said, I think there's this perception outside of Boston. And look, Derrick didn't have a great game. 5 of 20 shooting, 1 of 8 on 2-point shots, but 4 of 12 beyond the arc. Hit them when they needed to in the fourth quarter. Help them get to the finish line. This is what Derrick White does. When it matters, when it's the fourth quarter, it is time for Derrick to help you get to the finish line. Checking those pockets. They had threes in them. And he was important tonight.
Dude, he had 9 threes the other night, 5 in the first half. Now he has threes again. And even like you said, when he doesn't necessarily score the ball, he's still in the beginning of the season. You saw it early, the shot blocking, the defensive plays.
7 assists tonight.
Yeah, the dimes, exactly.
How many blocks did he end
Derrick
with?
White, you are not underrated, according to
love
Eddie.
It's so weird when someone says that a player is rated.
I know. Sounded weird.
We only do underrated, overrated. So when someone says they're rated, I'm always like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah, you're not over, you're not under, you're You're pinpoint.
You're
pointed,
rated.
You're dotted. Rated.
Having a vehicle you can rely on, that's important. That's why you can rely on 24 Auto Group. They will treat you like family. And that's because they are family owned and operated. They're honest, easy to work with, and they just get it. Whether you're looking for something sporty, something luxurious, or just a solid everyday ride, 24 Auto Group always comes through. With 9 brands and 11 locations across New England, there's something for everyone. And here's the best part. They've got the knack to save you more on a new or pre-owned vehicle, and the knack to pay you more for your trade, up to $2,400 over book value. You can even drive home with just $24 down. So if you want the best deal without the runaround, go see my guys at 24 Auto Group, because you always get more at 24. Online at 24autogroup.com. My headline?
Yes. Ooh, I feel like this is
I
like
know
a
it should
mic
be
drop.
Hugo, but no, it's
Oh, it's not Hugo?
no, it's not.
Shut up.
It's shout out to Joe Mazzulla.
You are the most
in part because he
confusing
played.
man I've ever
I'm just kidding.
I
I just rambled like 6 more minutes about Hugo. I can't also
So
make it my
true, so
headline.
true.
It's Joe Mazzulla continues to press all the right buttons, and I know we've done this one before, but yet again on a night where you don't have Jaylen Brown, on a night where Jordan Walsh was essentially benched twice. So I wrote it down too. He got caught on a back cut early in the first quarter. Joe subbed him out with 17-14. So it was pretty early in the game, and pretty much threw in the whole bench lineup. And so including Garza, who hasn't played, like literally.
I think Garza was surprised.
I know Garza's like,
He's like, "Wait, you me?
Me? Okay, I'm going in.
Nah, homie, he called you, homie."
But shout out because Garza was ready.
Yeah.
Walsh ended up going back in the second quarter, got a chance, but he missed a rebound. It kind of clanged off his hands and went out of bounds, and Joe pulled him immediately. So he ends up playing 12 minutes. That's with Hugo in foul trouble in the first half, and Josh Minot starts the third quarter. Walsh did not play in the second half. I think, Joe has been hard on guys at various times, and it was just a reminder of, hey, if you're feeling yourself at all from being really good, and Jordan Walsh deserves all his flowers for what he's done, but look, like any young player, he's still 21. There's a level of consistency, and Minot's gone through this a bunch too. Minot had that hot stretch after elevating to a starter, and then just couldn't bring it consistently. And Joe pulled him right from the lineup when Walsh started to take that baton. And I don't think this is going to unseat Jordan. I hope he takes it the right way. It's not a huge blip here. It's just there was an energy level he was bringing before and a consistency that he was playing at, and it's eroded just a little bit. And I didn't even think he was that bad at the start of this game, but he clearly just was not as locked in as he normally is. And so, again, Joe goes and decides, all right, I'm going to play Garza. It feels like even without Pirtle out there, it's a game where you need some help on the glass, maybe to help swing the shot margin. And Garza goes out there and gets 9 offensive rebounds, something like key spots. He caught like an air ball at one point and got fouled going back up with it. Felt like a huge play in the moment. Really just kind of kept you afloat at times. And so that's ultimate respect to Garza for being ready. Ultimate respect for Joe for knowing, after the guys hasn't played, okay, this is the spot he's going to go in. But he did. It wasn't just Garza. It was Baylor Scheierman gets thrown in there. And air balls his first shot. I'm like, oh, maybe not a Scheierman night. Rode with him. And then by 2 minutes later, he's throwing no-look passes and taking charges and doing crazy Baylor Scheierman stuff. Yeah. So the best attribute I believe a coach can have is having the pulse of their team and being able to push the right buttons.
I love that headline because I think he's also done that not just once, but a few games now, if not multiple games.
Multiple games.
Even JB's obviously in there for the majority, other than the 2 games that he has officially missed now. But besides that, even surrounding Jaylen and Derrick and whoever is hot, he's looking. Joe is playing alongside with the game and plug and play. Who am I going to put in here? Okay, wait, nope, not the moment. Or he continues. And I think this is the best credit you can give a coach in any, mainly basketball, but maybe in any sport, is when you continue to allow a player to, even after a mistake, to ride it out and just to temper it, just to understand, okay, that was a bad decision. Am I going to take him or her out immediately, or am I going to ride with this player and see how they do? And I think, like you just mentioned, the Baylor situation, that shot he looked off on that too. It looked broke for a second. Baylor is not that, like, he can hit shots.
Right.
But that also, what that does for a player, builds their confidence.
He also, right after it, and I'll let you continue, but, like, he had, like, a bad moving screen where he, like, shoved somebody. And it's funny, I looked at the Boston bench at that point because I go, man, Walsh has got to be sitting there going, wait, why is he getting the freedom?
Mm-hmm.
It's, again, I think it's a feel thing. And there was something about it, and it could just be, like, Joe was dead set, like, I'm just not playing Walsh in the second half, and he's going to have to learn the lesson about the level he's got to bring. But, like, he gave Baylor a little bit of freedom there after an air ball and a bad moving screen, and he was rewarded with great play.
And also, maybe he's looking at, I can't, God forbid, if I ever were to tap inside Joe Mazzulla's brain, I'd feel like it would be a mix of, like, wolves,
You can't.
blood,
No coming back out of
fights, WWE, and then, like, basketball and math. I don't even know. But with that being said, maybe he's looking at Baylor saying, I want to see how he seizes the opportunity after a mishap. But I do think you're right. He's done this with Josh Minot. He's done it with Simons. He's done it with now Jordan, of just saying, if you're not leveling up the way I need you to, if you're not going to bring it the way that you know how to, you're not going to be rewarded by getting the minutes out there. And the other guys just seize their opportunities.
And, I hate to bring it back to Hugo, but
No,
if
you
there
don't.
was one thing.
No, you do not.
If there was one thing that, as good as Hugo has been in spots, it's always, okay, can you do it consistently? And how do you handle the moments of adversity? So I think it was the Pistons game where they had offense, defense, end of the third quarter. Hugo goes in there, blows an assignment defensively, and then turns the ball over. They get points. It changed the complexion of that game. How would he respond? Well, the other night against Miami, one of his best games. And then he comes back tonight and just builds off of it and just sees, again, like, it's not, he's never going to, the double-double is great. Like, I'm not expecting that every night. I'm expecting limited offensive output, but making threes when they come your way. If you want to throw down a crazy fourth quarter dunk and get, like, the whole newsroom rocking, I'm with it. But
that was fun. Please do it.
If you're just defending and making chaos happen, like, he's the one who had to guard Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes and, like, just like really tough situations. And he had 3 fouls in the first half and played through it. So the consistency is, like, that's why when Joe he's not calling players out because he doesn't believe in them. He's calling them out because he knows they can be better.
And you know what also is interesting that I picked up on when Hugo was talking to Abby? Was it this one? I think it was tonight. I get the games mixed up sometimes. They all blend together.
There's a lot of games.
Yes, there are. 82 regular season. Hugo was mentioning to Abby, she asked a great question, and his response was, I believe it was post-game, just how he credited JB, and he was so self-aware, and I think that's a testament to him and this team. At
He even said best player.
This just the second time you guys are playing without Jaylen Brown. What was the mindset coming in?
Well, obviously, Jaylen is the best player on our team, and he has been magnific, having our hand in a lot of games. But these things happen. He was ill. I hope he's recovering really, really well, and he recovers soon because we need him. Also good to have a victory, but like I said, I hope he's good and he recovers for the next game.
But for someone to say that too at 19 years old and to recognize, like, the reality of the circumstance, being like, JB is our best player. So that says to me, you recognize the roles that are established here. Jaylen right now is the best player. He is the leader of this group at this point. So where do I fit in? I'm going to, when he's not in or when he is in and I'm out there, I'm going to do my role. And I think when you have the followers, I don't want to call Hugo a follower, but you know what I mean. Like, I think the other guys that are just
role players, everyone has a role.
Riding this thing out with Jaylen as kind of like the head of the ship right here, it's a collective effort. And the buy-in is the totality of it all versus, like, I'm trying to be him. Because some teams get like that, and it's a collide. It'll never break through.
Tough when everyone wants to be the alpha.
Yeah.
But this team, if anything, this team is really good about identifying roles. Sure. And Payton Pritchard knew on the second night of a back-to-back, he had to bring it. He was awesome tonight. We've spent way too few minutes on this podcast, but, like, he got his flowers on our post-game show.
Heck yeah. 19 in the third.
I mean, that third quarter was otherworldly, where Jaylen carried you in the third quarter against Miami, and then like that was Payton just dominating, like literally keeping you afloat. Shout out to Passport P. Even the Celtics used it in their Twitter feed.
They did?
Yeah.
So my friends texted me, "Hey, there's a lot of fans listening."
Here's a peek behind the curtain about how Kayla can just will stuff into the universe.
You see how giddy I am because I'm like, oh, my best friends got their flowers. They're dedicated Celtics fans. Shout out Kristen and Eric. And she texted me, like, dedicated Celtics fans midway through the first quarter where Payton was starting to get going a little bit. And, and so she goes, hey, my husband Eric and I, we were thinking like, I know Drew has a lot of nicknames. Has he ever used Passport P? I'm like, you know what? We'll see how this goes. But I'm going to send it to him. So once I told her that I would send it, and maybe we'll see if it makes broadcast, she started to hit the panic button because she's like, we jinxed it. I don't know if this is going to happen. The passport is not going to go to the destination that we want it to for Payton. But he just rolled.
The passport was expired.
It was expired. And then I hear Drew say it. We're losing our minds. The whole newsroom went, oh. And then I saw a push notification, Passport P. So I'm never, ever going to take away Drew and his creativity from all the nicknames because he genuinely creates this on the spot. It is like the Washington, D.C., capital, whatever you said. He's great at that. But, yeah, Passport P showed it tonight.
D.C.?
Washington. Yeah. What was it? Something Monument? Washington Monument?
Washington Monument. Yeah, it works for everything with Jordan.
The Derrick White House, yeah.
Jordan probably should have been a Wizard just because there's so many opportunities.
Yeah.
But he's ours, so hopefully.
But he's ours.
Be eager to see how he bounces back from this. Again, you learn more about people after adversity than you do when things are good, and a chance here for Jordan to turn the corner. Let's end on this. Do you want to tell people about the sweatpants?
Yeah, you guys.
So if you're watching on the YouTube feed.
So what have you noticed? Oh, go ahead.
So during our pregame show, it varies night to night. Especially during the pandemic, there was a time where I was like, I think I could probably wear sweatpants every night, and no one would be the wiser because we were always at a desk or like sitting in an area. But as we come out of the work from home environment, we've needed to put pants back on. So, but a night like this, we knew in our postgame show that we would not ever be moving around. And so Kayla comes in for postgame, and she's just got this glow about her. And I was like, oh, it's a sweatpant night.
See, Derrick White has a pocket full of like threes. For me, it's a pocket full of sweats. Like when I can put my sweatpants on postgame because I know that we're not standing, I'm like, let's cook.
Isn't it so much better?
It's so, first of all, I don't know why. This dress is suffocating me. I'm not well. I don't care how cute it quote unquote looks or I thought it looked. I'm not that happy in this because I was so frustrated. I'm like, my legs are cold. Why? Why am I sitting on a pod? Which, by the way, I'd be moving on the podcast. Like, ladies, if you're listening, the whole, I can't cross my legs.
There are nights where I feel bad that like this shot is so back.
It's not only the shot. Do you know, because we love it here. Yeah. Do you know that every mother out there, a great mother to a daughter, will send you a YouTube video, my mother included, of how to sit properly and ladylike. And I still don't know, but I think it's like this. But why do that when you can wear sweats?
Right.
So this is where we're at.
You probably like if I don't think anyone would ever notice this, but I have shunned the button-down shirt because it's like it's so uncomfortable.
But,
I know there are like comfortable button-down shirts, but like this year I was just like, you know what? If I already have to wear the blazer, if I already have to like wear the fancy pants, then I bought a bunch of these like crew neck type deals.
Yeah. I like the cardigans that you've been having.
Right, and like they're perfectly fine. In fact, I'm not even going to get into this because someone will call me out for wearing essentially what amounts to a sweatshirt on TV. But you perform better, and this is why when people want coaches to go back to wearing suits, and it drives me nuts.
They are sweating. You know what's off.
No one wants to see this. Like, did Brad Stevens coach better because he wore a suit? No.
And they're just going to take it off and throw it anyway.
If you want to wear a quarter zip, like the biggest thing I can say is that everyone performs better when they are comfortable. Allow people to be comfortable.
That's a mic drop, if anything else.
Right.
Now can I wear Kevin Miller? Can I wear sweats on the shows all the time? Can I please? Because post up is one of our favorites because sometimes, oh my God, when I can wear a hoodie on TV or any type of sweats, right. I will post on my Instagram all the cutesy whatever photos. Do you guys know I look like God knows what coming off the street in sweats from head to toe on a regular basis? Like when I come in here, it's like.
I apologize to my family at home. I'm like, I know I've been wearing the same pair of sweatpants and sweatshirt for like.
It's just so comfy.
But this is what I get home. I take off all this crap.
Oh my God, I have orange dripping off my face. The black mascara. My poor boyfriend is like, like it's like Freaky Friday. Like, who is this monster? No, I hope not. But
As always, this podcast is going off the rails.
Yeah, we went, wow.
But we like to be honest with you people.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot of basketball, and then we get indulgent for a little bit. We talk about the stuff that matters.
It's a vent session. Feels good.
Yeah. Like there'll be a podcast this year where I rant about the local Chipotle is really skimping on ingredients this year. Like we'll find
Carne
things.
asada.
It's very relatable content. I
just need you to get a flag for Hugo. That's our next get.
Maybe I'll put it on my Christmas list. Santa Claus brings it to town, and we'll be in here when the Celtics play the Pacers next week and waving it around. Until then, I need everybody to go subscribe. If you're listening to this in your sweatpants, shout out to you.
Shout out you.
And if you're listening at the bar, again, crazy. And if you're at the bar in your sweatpants, even better. We'll catch you next time
Uber home
on the Celtics Talk Podcast.